What you can do with a jailbroken PS4 in 2024. A lot of folks have joined the happy world of PS4 jailbreak, thanks to the release of PBPWN, kernel exploit supporting FWs up to 11.00 by the Flow. But many of us are scratching their heads as to what they can actually do on their newly jailbreak PS4 in 2024. So here's a non-exhaustive list of what's on tap. Number 1. Custom themes. One of the first things you'll want to do with a jailbroken PS4 is to customize it. Custom themes are one of the favorite things people like to do on their jailbroken PS4. Number 2. Game mods and patches, cheats. On a jailbroken PS4, you can tweak your games to your heart's content, and a lot of developers have been providing tools and patches to do so. 60 FPS patches. Probably one of the most sought-after functionality are 60 frames per second patches in games, with Lance McDonald's 60 frames per second patch for Bloodborne being one of the highlights. Developer Illusion has provided a huge list of such patches. More recently, the developer has released FPS patches for Gravity Rush 2, Alien Isolation, Medieval, Witcher 3, and more. Game cheats, trainers, and debug menus. Several developers are providing cheat codes for your favorite games. Multiple trainers exist for the PS4, such as Multi-Trainer or the web-based PS4 Trainer. Multiple exploit hosts also have some trainer capability, and you can create your own cheats with a bit of practice. Some teams provide full-fledged cheating menus that are added to your game, such as Oysters for Red Dead Redemption 2. Save shares. Getting a save game from somebody else used to be a perfectly legit and acceptable way to make progress in a game in which you were blocked. That was until Sony and others decided that game saves would now be uniquely encrypted per console, preventing you from sharing saves with your friends. PS4 Save Mounter now fixes this injustice, allowing you to share saves with friends or use save games you've downloaded from the internet. Number 3. Emulation. PS1 and PS2 games. You can run a huge selection of PS1 and PS2 games on a hacked PS4. This is done by creating package files from the ROM/ISOs and then installing them through your method of choice, typically the package installer from goldhen. Please note that not all games are compatible. PS4 RetroArch and other emulators. The PS4 Homebrew store has downloads for multiple emulators you can try, including in particular an unofficial port of RetroArch. Unofficial here is a bit unfair. The port is of high quality, but simply cannot be advertised publicly by the RetroArch team because it was built using some leaked Sony SDK instead of the open-source SDK. RetroArch lets you emulate a wide selection of emulators and should probably be your first choice before you look into others. With that being said, other emulators might offer some functionality or performance that you cannot find in RetroArch's cores. For those interested in Saturn games, developer Jabu has released Saturn FPKG, a tool that lets you turn Saturn ROMs into installable packages on jailbroken PS4. Number 4. Homebrew games for PS4. Check out PS4 Homebrew store for a selection of homebrew games to run on the PS4. Number 5. Running Linux on PS4. It's possible to install and run Linux on your PS4. The console can run Steam and, to some extent, Steam games, although you'll need some significant Linux experience to get semi-recent games to run at a decent speed. Number 6. Other tools and utilities. There are a bunch of tools and utilities you can run on your PS4, allowing you to turn into an FTP server or more. The FTP payload is usually offered on most exploit hosts and part of goldhen, so in general it should be pretty straightforward. The Hamachi client lets you run a LAN over the internet, allowing you to play LAN games with friends over the internet. The Homebrew store has a selection of utilities as well. Number 7. PS4 game backups. The elephant in the room. Making backups of your PS4 games and playing them DRM-free is very possible on a jailbroken PS4. We won't detail how this is done here. You can find this information everywhere else. While we don't really advocate for pirating your PS4 games, we can't deny that it's one of the major use cases for a jailbroken PS4 these days. Are there any other cool things you're doing on your jailbroken PS4? Let me know in the comments. Well, I hope this information that I brought you today has been of some use to you. I hope you like the video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button since it's free for everyone. Thank you and see you in the next video.